John, we'll come on to the match in a bit more detail shortly, but let's speak about Aidan White firstly, who had to go off after 55 minutes. What's the situation there?
He felt a slight tweak in his hamstring, so he signalled straight away and we got him off instantly. So we'll assess him over the next 24 hours. We're hoping it's nothing too serious, and it's been safety first really. It's been slowly with Hayden since his broken leg, getting him back to where he needs to be. He's been working hard in pre-season, so we're hoping that it's just a slight tweak and nothing too serious.
No early signs, therefore, on how long he might be out for, if at all?
Difficult to say, Steve-O. He's currently on the treatment table with the medics as we speak. Initially, he said it was a slight tweak, but we'll leave that to the experts to decide.
And what about the match itself? A 2-1 victory, and alongside that, would you say the most severe, challenging test so far this pre-season?
Possibly. I mean, we've played some good opponents so far. I think that was the first time I noticed players getting after one another when we conceded early, which is what I want. It needs to be driven from within. We've got some really good senior pros here and I expect them to drive it. I'll lead and guide them, but it's got to come from within. I think the intensity in and out of possession was better tonight. I was really pleased with some of the play. Clearly, when CJ comes on and has got a little bit of space to run into, there's nobody better. And I was really chuffed for Nicky Maynard to get his goal as well, because he had a quiet night, he worked his socks off, but that's what he's capable of. He might have a quiet game, but if he gets the minutes in the tank, you can guarantee he'll pop up with a goal.
The boys seem to be especially buoyed after each of their goals, the 2 goals.
Yeah, no, listen, we encourage the players to celebrate their success, whether that be in games or training. So that could be a block off the line, it could be a clearance, it could be an outstanding goal. I think it's important that the players enjoy what they're doing, and clearly tonight when those 2 goals hit the back of the net, the players were pleased.
Apart from the forced change of CJ Hamilton on for Aidan White, there were no other changes. What perhaps could be read into that?
That we wanted to get 90 minutes into certain players. We did that on Saturday. We got minutes in the tank, and it was important that we did the same this evening, and that's what was planned.
What can we expect on Saturday against Rangers under 23s?
Another test, certainly out of possession. Stephen Gerrard, who's a very good friend of mine, he encourages his team to play with the ball and like we saw in Portugal, so that'll be another challenge. It might not look entirely what the Newport game will look like, if I'm being honest, but we'll have a full week to prep that.
Might it be an opportunity for you also to look at some of the Rangers under 23 players, given the link between the 2 clubs now that is forming, or is that too far down the line?
No, certainly. I think that's probably one of the advantages of playing Rangers at this time of pre-season. They'll have some excellent talent on show that we'll be able to look at and discuss. I don't think we're looking to bring in 2 or 3 bodies. We're probably looking 1 or 2 at the most. So yeah, great opportunity to look at their talent, but we're not looking for wholesale changes.
Do you mean 1 or 2 at the most in terms of Rangers players, or on the whole?
On the whole, yes.
Worth clarifying.
Yes, definitely.
And are you any closer to one of those?
We are. I expect something to happen probably the next 48 hours. We've been in discussions with a young right-sider who we are very keen on. He's still young, got real potential, got Football League experience, so I'm hoping something to happen with that in the next 48 hours.
We started by speaking about Aidan White's injury. Let's speak about injuries on the whole. Everybody else unscathed after this one, John?
Yeah, there was a few tired bodies, as you can imagine, because it was like playing abroad almost tonight. And some of the effort that was put in particular in the last 10 minutes when you saw lads sprinting back to get into position after attacking. Really pleased with the effort that was put in. No injuries to report except the Hayden White one. And we'll move on this week and start prepping the Rangers game.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody from the opposition tonight that caught the eye that might be worth looking at?
I've got to be honest, they had some really talented players on show. I wouldn't want to single anybody out because I'd have to speak to the Nottingham Forest staff really first on that. But yeah, I mean, they had a right mixture of experience. If you look at the front three that started the game, I dread to think what the wage bill would be. But some of the under-23 players and even some of the under-18 players that came on the end were very impressive, but that wasn't a surprise to me because I know what hard work Gary Brazil puts into the academy, and all you can say is very impressive.